Bill Gates has called forth the metaverse, guys. In 2 to 3 years, he says, virtual meetings, workers, all of it will be totally immersed in the metaverse. Now, let's not forget here, this is the exact same man that only 2 to 3 years ago said that the world would not be prepared for a global crisis. Well, my name is Wade Teamer, and this is your DigiHustle News. Now, in today's episode, guys, we are going to be discussing the metaverse and some NFT developments from the blockchain side in the form of Gala Games. We're going to be talking about Audius, Algorand, as well as Flow, guys. But we're also going to take a look at some metaverse developments from the traditional side in the form of Microsoft, Intel, as well as Universal Music Group, guys. It's going to be very big episode. Make sure you stick around to the end. Now, before we get into that, I want to ask you a question really quickly. Is he right? Is Bill Gates right in his assumption? Do you also agree that the metaverse will be the future setting for all corporate activities? Let us know how you feel down in the comments, guys. While you ponder on that, though, we're going to get right into the news, guys, starting with Gala Games. Now, over the weekend, they held an event in Las Vegas that had some major names in attendance and is going to bring some major advancements to Gala going forward, guys. Now, for starters, Gala Games and C2 Ventures have launched a $100 million fund to accelerate future blockchain game development. The fund represents an alliance between Gala Games and the new crypto investment firm in the form of C2, C2 being led by Sierra Sun, who formerly worked for Hubi Global. Now, it continues to say that the joint venture will invest in game developers and emerging projects that are building with blockchain technology. Now, alongside this partnership with C2, Gala also announced some other huge deals with the likes of Will Wright, the creator of The Sims, Peter Molyneux, creator of Fable, Ember Games, and AMC, as well as Certain Infinity, guys. Now, let me tell you right away what I found to be the most interesting, guys. It comes in the form of Peter Molyneux. Now, that's the Fable creator, and he's getting ready to create a game much like that for Gala Games, guys. It states that Molyneux, the founder of 22 Cans and the creator of the Fable franchise, is now building a game by the name of Legacy, which he describes as being perfect for blockchain. Now, Legacy will be an MMORPG game, much along the lines of Fable, but with way more world building elements. Now, what was the next move, guys? This one comes in the form of Ember and AMC, guys, because they're bringing a very big title to their platform. Now, with the partnership of AMC and Ember, guys, we're actually going to get a cross platform survival MMORPG in the style of The Walking Dead, guys. So, this is going to be very massive. They are bringing a major property to their blockchain, guys, and that's going to be a symbol of what we have to see in the future. Now, pair that with Will Wright, the creator of Sims, joining Gala, and Max Hoberman of Certain Infinity. He will be bringing a first person shooter, something similar to Halo, to the blockchain. Guys, Gala is really setting up to do some very big things in 2022, guys. So that's big news for Gala. Let's move over to Audius, guys, who on December 10th erected a broadcast tower with the help of DeFi Land. The tower will allow users to stream music from the millions of artists on Audius, guys. The timing of this is perfect because of the fact that DeFi Land is actually about to go live. They're about to have a public launch in the coming weeks, guys. Now, of course, this will be big for DeFi Land, but this also puts Audius and the artists on the platform in a very prominent position, guys. Now, DeFi Land is a gamified DeFi protocol with the goal to teach the interworkings of DeFi in a farmland game type setting. It is also backed by Animoca Brands, who have been one of the biggest investors in the NFT and metaverse markets, guys. So, all the reason why I started the Audius Spotlight series is because Audius is on the forefront of innovation when it comes to the music industry, guys. And that also means that the artists that are on this platform are also on the forefront, guys. So, again, big news for Audius, big news for DeFi Land. And again, we're still taking submissions for artists, guys. It's something I want to continue doing. Like I said, this weekend, I'm going to be talking with a very big artist, guys. He's got some surprises for you. I'm just going to tell you that. But since we're on the subject of music, guys, let's jump over to our Algorand story, guys. This is, again, very massive. It says the first ever music synchronization smart contract has been executed on the Algorand blockchain, guys. This is big, big news, and I'm going to tell you why. This is directly addressing one of the biggest issues in the music business. That issue, getting artists their freaking money, man. Okay, let's dive in, guys. It states that music synchronization licensing marketplace DeQuincy has executed the first ever sync license on a public blockchain, guys. Now, it all went down at Algorand's Decipher conference, which was held on November 29th through the 30th. In a quote from the CEO of DeQuincy, he stated that our vision for DeQuincy is to cut out the middleman in music licensing transactions so that creators maximize earn income and get paid immediately. By executing the first ever on-chain sync license transaction, we are one step closer. He finishes that statement by saying, "We made history today." Yes, that is very much true, Mr. Hadelman. Now, DeQuincy is an Algorand platform, so it's built on Algorand, and initially it was catering to on-chain content such as motion graphic NFTs, video games, and metaverse productions. Insert Algorand metaverse connection here. Now, they are entering the music sphere, and by, again, like I said, tackling one of the biggest problems in the industry, guys. I'll tell you, I've been in the game, I've been in the music business since about 2013. And if I had money for every time I lost money, then I'd probably have more money. But speaking on the subject of money, guys, we're going to use Dapper Labs to help us flow into our next segment. Right? See what I did there. But this next story is a doozy, guys. It's very interesting. Let's just dive right into it. So, Dapper Labs, who utilizes the Flow blockchain, has acquired a new NFT platform in the form of Genies. Now, Genies is an NFT storefront, and it hopes to serve as a Web3 hub for digital identity. Now, it will allow users to create animated avatars and outfit them with wearable digital items, guys. There's those wearables again. The new platform will launch on December 13th under the name The Warehouse to a small group of participants, invite only participants. Now, here's where it gets interesting, guys, because first, I want to show you what genies look like. It's a real simple page. They only have literally one page. That's how early this thing is, guys. But here's what's the interesting part. This same company is also working with the Universal Music Group to create digital avatars of some of their most notable artists, guys. This is courtesy of Engadget, and the information that they give us states that the record company has teamed up with Genies to create digital versions of its artists, as well as NFT outfits and accessories, those wearables again, and for use in virtual worlds. The plan is to give Universal's artists digital identities for the metaverse, and we'll start with Rihanna and the Migos. Now, what's interesting in this scenario is that these NFT items or digital identities will be interoperable, having the ability to enter multiple metaverses, guys. Now, never in all my years did I ever think that I would be using Universal Music Group and interoperability in the same sentence. But if we go back to the top of the episode, guys, Mr. Gates told us this is the world that we're in. Now, It's interesting that he made himself vocal this week when he did, because at the very same time, Microsoft led a $27 million funding round for a platform by the name of Palm NFT, guys. And once we get into this one, the picture is going to get a little bit clearer. Now, Palm has already exposed themselves to big, top notch clients in the space, guys, including Warner Brothers, SK Inc., and the Major League Baseball. So, what is Palm Studio, however? Palm Studio is a technology suite that is ready to enable large scale NFT drops. Palm operates as a side chain on Ethereum. Okay. And that is to ensure lower fees. Now, the CEO of Palm, Daniel Heyman, has some very interesting views on the future of NFTs. He states that within 3 years, most NFTs will be given away for free. We will see a shift away from NFTs as exclusive collectibles towards mass community engagement, and Palm Studio is leading that evolution. Now, this is a very interesting viewpoint, especially when you take into the fact all of the municipal use cases for NFTs on a massive scale. So, where does Microsoft fit into all of this? Well, according to Ledger Insights, Palm is very closely associated with Consensus. And we know Consensus has a very strong working relationship with Microsoft. Now, since 2019, Microsoft has had their hands in the blockchain industry, specifically when it comes to NFT rewards or user monetization and digital identity. Now, Palm Studio, appeals to both NFT rewards and the digital identities. Okay. Now, this article ends with some very, very profound words, guys, and it kind of lines up with some of the viewpoints that we have here. Now, the article finishes by stating that some have asked, what's the next big thing after DeFi and NFTs? Given that regulators are moving towards improving identity, could that be it? Block, formerly known as Square, is making a big push in identity, and Microsoft's Ion project has joined the company. Yesterday's acquisition of Everum by antivirus firm Avast also reinforces that view. So, what that illustrates, guys, is a couple things. One, they're going to approach this issue through the cybersecurity field. So we're going to hear a lot about cybersecurity going forward. Okay. Now, we mentioned earlier in the video that Intel is coming into the metaverse, guys. Well, see, the word is courtesy of Quartz Magazine, is that Intel is entering the conversation. It states that Intel will release a new series of graphics processors starting in the first quarter of 2022 that will power the metaverse. Also entering the metaverse, we have Nike, probably one of the biggest stories. You probably didn't heard this already, but they are coming into the metaverse with the help of digital fashion startup RTFK. Again, highlighting digital items, digital wearables, digital goods, guys. So, the monetized worlds being created in the metaverse are now slowly but surely becoming reality, guys. My only question is, what will the future hold from here? Well, maybe this last headline will give us an idea. We're going to end this video talking about Sensorium, guys. I'm just going to give you the headline and I'm going to let you run with it. Kara Mar becomes the first social, artificially intelligent driven artist to release an album. We have AI writing albums, not algorithms, writing and composing musical pieces. Now, this is not something it's not new, but now it works. And that's the key. If you found value in this video, you know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe, ring the notification bell so that you never miss another one. Also, If you're new to crypto, Abra, Crypto.com, FTX, and Coinbase links are in the description. And as always, guys, before we leave every video, I want you to have a great day, have a prosperous day. Most importantly, we making this money. I'll see y'all in the next one.